Today, I wanted to bring the top 7 Wonderkids from Barcelona and kind of see when their retirement dates are. Now, I know it's not one of the typical things that you think about all the time, but for some reason I was looking at their lineups lately, and they're so young. Ricky Puig, one of them, 21 years old. And I just started thinking, all these players, they've got such a long lifespan. What happens to them? When do they retire? When does Barcelona have to start looking at replacing a lot of these characters? But they're in the lineups right now, so I wanted to take a quick look. So before I actually get into everything and when the retirement dates are, I want to kind of go through the quick lineup of 7 and just go through the initial stats, and then we can see how they go from there. Ricky Puig, starting out 21 years old, central midfielder, attacking central midfielder, already worth 10.5 to 32 million. Some of these numbers at 21 years old. First touch of 16, passing of 16, technique of 17, vision of 17. He's done fairly well so far. I mean, in this save so far, 27 appearances, 1 goal. Not too unhappy with how he would be playing. Definitely one to take a look at, probably on the more expensive side as he grows up, but we'll have to see. Next up, central defender Ronald Araujo. I have no idea how to pronounce that. 22 years old, so he's kind of getting into the prime. 31 million to 93 million, 17 heading, marking of 16, tackling of 17. He is expensive at 31 million, at the lower end to 93 million. Definitely expensive. But he looks like a central defender for years to come. Ansu Fati, 18 years old, already worth 29 million to 87 million. I mean, we already know how fantastic this dude is. Plays both wings and centrally in the striker position. Dribbling of 16, technique of 16. These numbers have got to climb, I'm sure. Flair of 19, acceleration of 16. So he's pacey as well. But in real life, there's just no accolades right now at 18 years old. Damn. Alejandro Balde on the left side too. I'm going to say Dani Alves is right. Not the greatest numbers in terms of mental and technical. 11 million to 33 million. So probably a little expensive for this dude. But physical, acceleration and agility, pace, fantastic numbers there to grow on. I would love to see where he actually ends up. I don't know if he'll stay at Barcelona because these numbers are a little low for especially the other guys that we've already seen. Pedri. I mean, he is touted as probably one of the best Barcelona players right now, post the Messi era. He is 18 years old, 35 million to 105 million. Wow. 17 dribbling, 18 first touch, 17 passing, 17 technique. Stamina of 16 is always nice. Natural fitness of 16 is definitely nice. Absolutely phenomenal player in this game. He's pretty damn good in real life too. Hard to get a hold of, I would imagine, except unless you're one of the big boys with a lot of money. Nico, as a 19-year-old central midfielder slash DM, 8.2 to 24. Another one whose numbers aren't as fantastic as the rest. However, they're not bad. Some 15s, some 14s for a 19-year-old that's only going to grow. Probably not going to find himself in Liverpool squad or Man City squad. However, I mean, he could grow to a phenomenal level. And then finally, a central midfielder who's touted to be Liverpool's next signing. Gavi is 21 million to 64 million. Technique is and Flair are the only ones in the green. Still, 15 first touch, 15 vision. He's got some numbers that are going to be fantastic. He's 16 years old. Wow, 16 years old. I mean, and he's phenomenal. Coming up to the end of his contract right now. As a Liverpool fan, I really hope they pick him up. But damn, we'll have to see. But now, where do these guys end up? How do their careers fare? And when do they retire? So, now that we've hit the first year, let's hit the last year. Ricky Puig is first up. I'm going to do these in order of their retirement dates. Ricky Puig in 2036. This is the year he retires, apparently, in my save at least. Some of his numbers have gone up. His mentals have really gone up. A lot more greens than there were the last time. However, not so much in the technical, not so much in the physical. The physical you'd expect as they grow older to just go downhill. But technicals, first touch, I believe, is the only one that's really gone up. A couple numbers have gone down, unfortunately. But as you can see, he went from Barcelona for playing 0 appearances to FC Metz, 132, and then Olympiacos in 179. So his career did not have that upward spiral that probably a lot of others will have. So we're kind of starting on that downward slope. But 2036 is when Ricky Puig retires. As we move to the post-retirement screen, you can see his best staff role, I guess, is head of youth development. But 20-year career, 16 to 2036, 572 appearances, 52 goals. That is Ricky Puig's career in a nutshell. So Araujo, also in 2036, 37 years old. His numbers also kind of along the lines of Ricky Puig have gone up in the mentals, down somewhat in technicals and physicals. Nothing really too drastic, pretty much the same. As you can see, he went from Barcelona straight to PSG and in 2031 and has just been those two clubs, and that is it. Post-retirement, head of youth development yet again. Playing a career which spans 22 years from 2014 to 2036. 595 appearances, scored 39 goals. His career has had a slight uptick from Ricky Puig, but did not grow to full-blown amazing status as I'm sure some others have, like Pedri, Gavi. We'll take a look at those next. Ansu Fati, as you can see, retires in 2039, 36 years old. His numbers have actually grown in both technical and mental from his beginning stages at Barcelona. Physicals have altered a bit. No more acceleration or pace. Now he's agility and natural fitness. But as you can see, in 2024, he made his move from Barcelona after 135 appearances to Liverpool, where he stayed until 2039. So 417 appearances, 145 goals. Not too shabby of a player. Post-retirement, we don't have a clue at what he's going to do next. But as you can see, he has had a 21-year career from 2018 to 2039, made 581 appearances, scored 190 goals, has not done too bad of a deal. I don't know where Liverpool sit in these 24 to 39, but damn, that's a long time. Compared to the likes of PSG or Barcelona. So I can't say if Fati's had a better career than Araujo, but he's still climbing, doing fairly well. Alejandro Balde has moved on from Barcelona in 2028 to Chelsea, to 2037 to Milan. Has, some pretty good clubs under his belt. But as you can see, he has grown, I would say, more evenly than the others have. Some not amazing numbers here. You can see 93,000 per week, not too bad, and has moved to Chelsea and Milan. So some good European teams. But overall is probably not the best player in the end as what we've seen so far. But he does retire in just a couple days in 2040. Post-retirement head coach material, it looks like. Playing career span 22 years from 2018 to 2040, made 353 appearances, scored 17 goals. But minus the first Ricky Puig set of moves to other clubs, these guys have actually grown, it seems, and have done fairly well for themselves. Pedri is up next and has stayed his entire career in Barcelona, minus, Laguna and Las Palmas. But anyway, his numbers, though, are pretty much fairly even with what he was beforehand. Some definite numbers downward. Dribbling has gone from a 17 to a 10. Ouch. First touch from an 18 to a 17. Passing is the same. Technique from a 17 to a 16. So overall, he's kind of just remained his average. Still fantastic for most teams, I would say. But 665 appearances, 169 goals. Not really up to Messi par, but at the same time, there's a reason he had a good career here. And another one that does not have apparently aspirations post-retirement, but you can see 23-year career, 17 to 40, 711 appearances and scored 178 goals. Still a fantastic career. But even at 37, someone I would look at or even in the later stages of his career, I would look at for some good leadership material and some strong stats in a lot of squads that I would have. Squad rotation player, definitely I would say good for that. 2040 is when he retires. That's Pedri. Now, these last two players, I have had some issues with finding in these saves. Nico, let's start off with him. 2040 is when he somewhat retires in my first set of saves, simply because I get to 2039, as you can see here, and these are the last set of numbers that I have before retirement, and I'm assuming retirement because he disappears completely from the database. I then go back to this 2039 save, keep history after retirement, move on a year, he's still not in the database, and I don't know why. It's an FM bug, I'm assuming, or something with my computer, with the Game Pass version, I don't know, but he disappears completely in 2040. So that is when I assume he has retired. I do not have a post-retirement screen for him. You can see, however, he has gone to a lot of different clubs, from Barcelona to Barcelona B, Paris Saint-Germain, PSG to Real Madrid to Arsenal to Ajax, Bordeaux to Rangers is where he finally finishes in 2040. So, man, he has had quite the career. Growth-wise, however, he was pretty good when he started in 19 in 2021. Has grown in some numbers, not a fantastic amount. However, all these clubs are very good clubs. I mean, he's gone to PSG, Real Madrid, and Arsenal. I don't know how any of these clubs have fared like the others in this time period, but then it's kind of gone downhill to Ajax, Bordeaux, Rangers, and then finishes a career. Overall, has still moved to some fantastic clubs with some incredible history, and then retires in 2040 at 37-ish. And then finally, to round it out, Gavi is another one that I had issues with. I actually went from 2040 when he disappears completely in my first set of saves, went back to 2039, and then did it year by year, kept retirement on. He was still there up until 2044. So for some reason in that save, something happened, and he just continued his career. So here we are in 2044 at 39 years old. Numbers wise, still not a fantastic growth. Mental wise is the only thing he's really grown in. Everything else he's kind of declined in. But from Barcelona and Barcelona B to Napoli to Leicester, and that's where he finishes out his career. However, I do have a final screen for him. And as you can see, head coach is where he looks like he is going to be heading. A career spanning 24 seasons from 2020 to 2044, made 133 appearances and scored 7 goals. So now here, I do not know why it's saying Gavi made 133 appearances and scored 7 goals. In this part of the save, he must have had some serious issues, some serious health issues. He has 543 appearances for Barcelona, 82 for Napoli, 11 for Leicester. Overall, his tail end of his career did not go probably the way he had hoped, but at the same time, Barcelona through and through, and has done fairly well for himself. So those are the 7 Wonderkids that I've wanted to highlight, since they are playing a fairly good, decent set of games for the actual Barcelona team now. Mostly 2036 to 2040-ish is when their retirements are up. So hopefully, if you're playing Barcelona and you're playing that long-term save with them, start getting some players in the early 2030s, thereabouts, maybe a little earlier. But that is it for Barcelona and their retirees. So as always, I am Sefian FM for the Football Manager blog. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and enjoy.